then you can get Will if Darren's running a little bit late.
Okay.
Because Darren's probably running the table at Topgolf right now.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Will Secor, if you would, please. Will Secor to the table. Will Secor to the table. We are calling an audible. as he takes his was that a pretzel that you tried to oh, it's pizza. Okay. We're going to be patient. Should someone bring some hydration for you to assist in the
Are you okay?
in the pizza?
Good? Okay. Was the pizza good?
I think we called you to the table a little too early.
I threw my plate away like about 3 seconds before y'all called me over. I threw my plate away. And
nothing like
me over and I was like, well,
nothing like a live appearance, huh, brother?
Put this down, so
it's all good. Will is for those who are not familiar with us at Soccer Down here. Will is one of our A-lister plus ones followers since the absolute beginning.
I'm just loud and I just like to hang out with y'all.
But you've been there since the beginning of this whole process.
I've been around for a while, I guess, yeah.
And so you've seen us grow, you've seen the sport grow,
yep.
And you've seen how it has evolved here in the southeastern United States.
Yeah. No, I'm all about the growth of soccer in Alabama and Georgia and Florida and South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, Mississippi, out to Arkansas and Louisiana. Like anywhere it grows out here, that is wonderful. So when Huntsville started, I was like, I am going to be part of that. And I've been trying to help it out, but we're just doing what I can.
Have you noticed a growth in the fan base since it's been here? And how has that development been like for you to see as someone who's been there since the beginning?
It's just been awesome. So last year around this time, I went to Fractal Brewing Project down on Lehman Ferry, which unfortunately no longer exists. But we had a meeting and there were maybe 15, 20 people there. And then less than 3 months later, we had our home opener and the whole section, the sports section, was just packed out all the way to the top. It's probably 350 to 400 people fit that section, and it's just packed out. So go from 10 to 20 to 400 in a matter of months was just amazing. It's Huntsville, as far as I can tell, has always been a more international city, a city that appreciates soccer, appreciates other sports. Obviously, we're in Alabama, right? We love our football around here. I mean, I grew up Georgia Tech fan. I went to Tech, but you come out here, you just see football. But to see the love for soccer around here, I mean, the state championship soccer fields are right down the road. They're right by Joe Davis Stadium where Huntsville City plays. It's just amazing to see the love for the sport in such a football stronghold.
So now with Huntsville City in its second season, you've decided to be a part of something new.
Yep.
Go ahead and break down what this new idea is. And for folks that might be looking for a supporters group, might be looking for a way to attach themselves to Huntsville City Football Club on a daily basis, on a match day basis. Tell everybody about what's going on with you these days right now.
So last year we had 3 supporter groups. We had Soccer Nuts, we had Invaders, and we had Fubar. There were people in those 3 groups that got along, that worked together. However, some of the people on leadership, in one group in particular, were not necessarily friendly to working with the other groups. And that created some conflict, that created a couple issues. And so at the end of the year, those of us who were there from all three groups that were there at all the games, that were like that were at all the tailgates, that were leading the chants, that were just there, that were like kind of the core group. We were like, what if we take this division and just get rid of it? What if we just like make one group? So we came together. We decided, hey, we're gonna make one group. We're gonna do everything together. We're gonna like be in communication, because that's a huge thing, right? You can't like make all these grand plans and have three groups making all these grand plans that don't work together. So we decided we're just going to be one group. And so we came together with that. And in January this year, we decided we're going to be the Huntsvillians. So like, we're here to like have a good time, cheer for the team, but also just like cause just a little bit of trouble at the same time. Right?
A little bit of
gosh.
trouble, he
A little
says.
bit.
Just a little
Just
bit.
make all the team personnel be like, hey, we'll be friends with y'all, but like at the same time, we're gonna like make your skin crawl just a little bit, make you a little uncomfortable, right? Because like that's what supporters are here for. Like everything that the team does is mandated by MLS and MLS Next Pro. We want to make y'all like we want to go beyond what y'all can do. We want to do what we can do. We want to take it to the next level. We want Joe Davis Stadium to be a fortress. We want every other team in MLS Next Pro to just like hate every second of every game they play there. We want it to be something that they just like, oh man, we're going to Huntsville next week. Oh man, can I just like my hamstring's really bothering me. Can I just like sit this one out? Right. I was like, even last year we played Cincinnati in preseason, and they're right back. I don't remember his first name, but his last name's Halsey. He wore number 42. In the preseason match, we harassed him so much that he got subbed in the early second half.
Really?
And he did not. I remember he played Atlanta United 2, and he played really well against Atlanta United 2, and then they played Huntsville in Huntsville a couple weeks later. He was on the bench. He didn't get subbed on. We want to make it where players hate coming here. We want this to be a place. We want this to be in MLS Next Pro. Like, hey, you don't want to play in Joe Davis Stadium because the Huntsvillians are going to make your life miserable for 90 minutes, right?
Do you have any like plans for merch, anything like that? Do you have a logo, anything prepared yet for it?
So it's a circle. It's a like a V in a circle with the Huntsville City star on it. So I don't know what I've got a lot of Huntsville City merch on, but the star right here, it's a V and a circle around it. It's based off a movie that was released in about 2005. It's got Hugo Weaving and Natalie Portman in it. I'll let you all do your own research. But it's the circle V comes kind of out of that mold. So that's what we're going for.
I like it.
How long did it take to think this process through? I mean, was it one moment, like in between seasons, where you're like, yeah, we need to do something and have the Huntsvillians be a part of things, or was it just something that you've had in mind all along that finally you were just like, yeah, let's go ahead and do this?
So the process started really late September, early October, and it really came to a head after the season, after we got eliminated on decision day. That was miserable. We came into decision day. We had lost 2 matches in a row. 3 matches left in the season. We controlled our own destiny. We lost 2 matches in a row, and then coming into decision day, we needed help. By about the 25th minute, we were up, and the other matches were going our way. We were like, okay, this is going to go well. And then everything just fell apart. So we ended up drawing 2-2. We knew we weren't going to make it, and then we lost on penalties. And just the way the season ended and we were like looking at, hey, we need to just get the fan base more organized, guys. Early in the season it was great. Later in the season, it like with the supporters groups, with the infighting between us, it had just fallen apart. So a couple of guys from Boo Bar, a couple guys from Invaders, and then Justin, who's over here somewhere, and I from Soccer Nuts, we're like, hey, we're gonna get together. We're gonna make one group, and we're gonna be more organized. We're gonna get together. We're gonna go out, and we're gonna say, hey, everybody who's in section 201, sports section out of Joe Davis, we're gonna work together. We're gonna make sure we don't let this happen again, where we lose 3 games in a row, where 2 of them at home, where we just fall apart at the end. We are going to support the team. We're going to make sure we can get to the end. And so that happened late September, early October. We worked through the end of the calendar year, and we came up with the name late December, early January. And we spent the first couple months of 2024 kind of building our brand. We've come up with scarf designs. We've come up with a couple other merch ideas that we aren't ready to release yet, but we have some ideas of where we want to go.
What's the response been like so far?
So far, we've had a lot of good response. Some people who were in the supporter groups last year who kind of like wandered away because they were just tired of the infighting, are like, hey, if there's one group and it's like united and together, we want to come back. And that's wonderful. We have had some people who were, especially some of those who were involved, who were part of the problem, have not been as receptive. But again, if you're part of the problem and there aren't too many who were, and they've just kind of wandered away, I don't particularly mind it if they don't want to come back, because if troublemakers don't want to come back, that's better for the rest of us.
I like it. So when can we expect this merch to be, and how can people join the supporter group and be a part of it?
So we've come together and we've decided, if you were in a supporter group last year, we will go ahead and grandfather you in if you elect to be in Huntsvillians. For those who weren't in a supporter group, if you choose to be in a supporter group in Huntsvillians this year, we have a thing where we're going to ask you to come to 3 matches at least and check in and say, hey, I'm here. Because we had a lot of people who were associated with some of the national supporter groups who were within the supporter groups last year who never really showed up. So like, hey, we have people who are like signed up, but if you aren't coming to matches, that's not really helpful to set in the atmosphere, to set in like the environment that we want. So what if we say, hey, in order to be in the group, you got to show up at least 3 times. As far as merch, our scarves are coming in next weekend, depending on customs, of course. But we'll be bringing them out. They'll definitely be here before match day 1, when we head up to Chattanooga and we go see what Chat FC is all about.
So for folks who want to get who are interested, want to show interest, want to get in touch with you about how to become a part of the Huntsvillians, how do they do it?
So the best way is to go look at our Facebook group, Huntsvillians SG on Facebook. We've got our social media manager, Mr. John Molina, over here right now. He is all things Huntsvillians. So if you look at Huntsvillians SG on Facebook, right? Yeah, Huntsvillians SG. Go ahead and like that. We'll have kind of more instructions on how to join through there in the coming weeks.
Great to see you, my friend. We saw you in Birmingham, which was very humbling that you would drive down to hang out with us at our remote at Ghost Train Brewing in Birmingham a couple weeks ago. It's very humbling to see you make the miles that you do as a part of the SDH family. Just wanted to thank you for being a part of the family, and thanks for coming on to talk about the Huntsvillians.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Go enjoy your pizza.
Oh, I
sir.
will. I already have.
Go. Well, continue enjoying your pizza. Will Secor, everybody. One of our plus ones, one of our A-listers at soccer down here to talk about the new supporters group, the Huntsvillians.